Okay, so money blocks can come in three ways. Behaviors, how we behave in our life, our actions, judging ourselves, and the third way is competing or comparing with others. Those are really huge money blocks. So how do behaviors show up? Behaviors are like not doing outreach for fear of not being received well, or fear of rejection, or fear of seeming desperate. This fear is losing you money, okay? What are money blocks? Money blocks come up in our lives three ways. Behaviors. Number one, what are behaviors? Actions, what we're doing or not doing, okay? Number two is judging ourselves. I'm going to give you guys some examples of that. Number three is competing or comparing with others. Those three are really huge money blocks that if we don't check that and we redirect our thought process, we're going to continue down that pathway unconsciously, and then it's going to get in the way of the money we are looking and working so hard to receiving. So number one, behaviors, examples of behaviors that are money blocks. You guys do this. If you do this, that means you're saying no to money. If you're not doing outreach for fear of not being received well, or fear of rejection, or fear of seeming desperate, any of those fears, you're saying no to money. Money, I see you over there, but I'm not going to do outreach, so you're saying no, I don't want you right now. Another example is posting. If you're not posting because you don't want to be visible, or you don't know what to post, you're kind of overthinking the process. What else? Or you're too critical of your posts. You not posting because of any of these reasons, or any reason at all, really. Like you're just too lazy to post today. You're saying no to money coming into your life. That's a block. Another way, a behavior way of saying no to money is choosing not to connect with your intuition and siding with your ego, listening to fear more than love of what you do. Okay. So if me and you are working one-on-one and we're constantly having to have the same conversations over and over again about why something isn't happening, and then you go out into the world and you decide to choose to side with your ego, you're saying no to money, okay? Or let's say this time you've had enough and you're like, okay, I'm gonna side with intuition and I'm gonna do what I love and I'm gonna be of service. Then that is a great way for you to heal that block, because instead of choosing to side with ego, now you're choosing to side with your intuition. And intuition, guys, the more you say yes to your intuition, the more money you make, the more wealth and abundance just comes to you. Another one is cleanliness and organization. Okay, so if you're not allowing yourself time, this is a block. If you're not allowing yourself time to clean and organize anything and anywhere, even your accounting, if your accounting is all wacky and you're not organizing that, or you're not keeping track of that, if your home is kind of unorganized and you're not maintaining that, that is an energetic block, because you're believing that somehow time is an issue for you. And if you don't have enough time, you can't get enough things done. And if you can't get enough things done, then that means you're not a good X, Y, and Z. You're not a good business owner. You're not a good wife and mom. You're not a good person. And then these not enough or not good enough things are blocks, right? The more not good enough you believe of yourself, the more not good enough you will have in your life. Okay, so behaviors. We just wrote down 4 things. Examples: not doing outreach for fear. So really, if you think about it, it's not doing anything for fear. So what is it that you're holding back because of the fear? You know, it could be not going to exercise for fear. Who knows what the fear is about exercise? Not choosing to eat well for fear. These things that you side with fear are money blocks. Okay, even if it's not directly connected, it's saying that you're not willing to take care of yourself that way. You're not willing to really create a life that you really want, right? So it's all connected. Number 2 is judging yourself. Okay, some examples on judging yourself. Okay, so for example, in the program, you and I are always working on developing your program, like your actual program you're selling to your clients. So let's say you're creating your program, you completed module 1 to 3, and you're like, I just completed module 1 to 3. I should have the whole program done by now. That's a judgment, right? Instead of celebrating that you have completed 1 through 3, you are now judging yourself because you're not completed all the way through. That judgment, guys, is saying bye-bye to money. Bye-bye to money. So no bye-byes to money. Let's celebrate more of the things you do. So let's say one of the things you have to do in your business is to do some organizational outreach, like you're actually reaching out to organizations. And let's say it's Thursday. You haven't done anything this week. You've been kind of sitting on the fence in your own misery about having to do this. And this time, today, you're like, you know what? It's Thursday. I got to do something. You go reach out to 5 people and you're judging yourself because you haven't done it all week. It's the first day you're doing outreach and it's already fucking Thursday. This is the reason why I don't have money. This is the reason why it ain't working. This is the reason why X, Y, and Z, and Z, and Z, and Z, right? So these judgments you are making while you're having these actionable things that are profitable is losing you money. Do you see, guys, how instead of being so negative about finally doing the thing, we are judging ourselves and putting ourselves down for being late to the game? That's okay if you're late to the game. Applaud yourself for being at the game finally. Thank you, Maria. We're finally doing some damn outreach. Woohoo! Celebrate it. Celebrate it. Don't be so hard on yourself when you have waited a little bit to do the shit you're supposed to do. Give yourself some love, some compassion. Bless that you're finally at that place of action and now you're ready to go make your money, right? That is the kind of energy you want to have when you do outreach. Now, if outreach isn't working for you, check the energy. Are you judging yourself while you're doing outreach? Are you like, I am not seeming authoritative. I am not a real coach. I'm not a real business owner. This is like seeming desperate. You know, all of these thought processes around doing outreach or doing anything in your business. Catch the judgment, because that judgment usually tells you how well you execute the actual process. Okay. Another example is accounting and numbers. If you're refusing to know your numbers, fear of knowing what it is and having to face the consequences of it, that is a block. The reason why that's a block is because you somehow are afraid that once you know what the actual number is, the damage, like, oh, if I know the number, it's going to be damaging. The damage, then I have to pay. Then I lose something. So this judgment of things is really going to interfere with receiving more and having more. Okay, another one is love. Not allowing for people to give you compliments. Not allowing for people to say, wow, you are so beautiful, or wow, you are just like so powerful, so confident, and not owning it and saying thank you so much for recognizing that. Instead, you're kind of almost bashful to it. You know, you're kind of like, oh, is that true? Or does this person want something from me? right? That kind of feeling, that kind of energy. That is saying, I don't want the money. Whatever good stuff you're trying to give me, I don't want it because it's probably bad, right? So that feeling of stopping the good stuff from coming to you is a block. So allow yourself to receive compliments. Also allow yourself to love again. Now, if you guys are hurt, or if you guys are kind of feeling that weird place of I want to date, but I'm worried to, allow that to break away, or figure out how to heal that wounded heart or wounded part of yourself, because that wounded part of yourself is a block to receiving money. One of my clients here, she started with me back in October, and she was literally this person. If you're online, hello and I love you. But she was very coming from a place of hurt and not trusting love. And we're in May, guys, and it's like completely turned around for her. She has opened up the doors to love again, and she's signing on clients. It's really amazing the kind of connection you have when you open love. When you open the door of love, you're also opening the door of money into your life, okay? The last one, this one's really interesting, comparing and competing. So this is a block, a major block that a lot of us do. And it's really hard to stop it if you don't recognize it, okay? It's really hard, because the thing with social media is that we're constantly looking through our timeline, right? If we're looking through our timeline unconsciously, we can really be down on ourselves. Like, oh, these people have a pool in their backyard, or she's in the pool right now and here I am stuck in my office, right? Whatever the hell, whatever reason why you feel like looking at your timeline and you're feeling it. Like, man, I would rather be over there, right? I would rather be doing that. Or I would rather be, why am I not there? Why am I here still? Why do I get the short end of the stick? These are questions that don't allow you to move forward. Why am I still here and they are so far ahead of me? Why do I get the short end of the stick and everyone else has it easier than me? Why does it seem like everyone gets it and I don't? Why am I always so late to the game and everyone else is just getting it so naturally? All of these questions are blocks. Now, whys in the hows, I know one of you guys really know about the whys in the hows, but I don't think I've really explained how whys in the hows work when you talk and speak that way and think that way. When you ask why and how, why is it that my bank account looks this way? Why is it that my living is like this? Why is it that my kids are the way they are? Why is it that I don't have any kids? Why is it that I drive this car and they drive that car? Whys in the hows come from lack. Okay, whys in the hows come from lack. So how often are you guys asking whys and hows? How often? Take a really honest look at how often you're doing whys and hows. And that should give you an answer as to why you're getting more whys and hows. So what's the counter to whys and hows? Well, the counter of that is, what would it take, right? The clearing statements. What would it take for me to feel more supported in my life? What would it take for me to close 5 clients for the month of June? What would it take for me to truly believe I am so worthy of all of my dreams? What would it take? What would it take? Fill in the blank. What would it take for me to feel super healed so I can help others heal? Though that kind of question allows for source, the universe, to come in and give you answers through insight, through experience, through messages from people, through phone calls that just come out of nowhere and you're like, wow, this is literally what I needed. Thank you for your message. Thank you for the conversation. It really comes out in different ways. But what you're doing is, instead of the whys and the hows, you are now past the problem and you're becoming solution oriented. Okay. Another, comparing and competing. Seeing yourself losing and others are winning, as if you can't do the same. Seeing yourself losing and others are winning, as if you can't do the same, right? So it's almost like you're powerless. Like you've given up your power to change your reality, and you're just looking at your timeline, watching TV and all of these basketball wife shows and Atlanta, whatever show, wife thing, whatever the hell, and kind of being powerless. Now, another one is the opposite of that, is seeing yourself winning and others are losing, as if you can't be infectious enough to be the light for others. Like you just almost feel bad for fucking winning. We just talked about this with one of my clients here. Like, I'm winning so much I can't share it. Like, girl, share that shit. Share your winning. Why? Because it infects other people's ability to win. If I win, you win. If she wins, we all win, right? We pave the path for those who want to do what we are doing and the things that we show up as. We're role models for those who want to do this stuff. So own it and be that person for the next, right?